Welcome to Straight Facts Podcast, episode 76. And man, to many of them, people that know me, they know this is a special one for me. This is a guy that I've been knowing not knowing, but I've been seeing play since the age of 11. Somebody who's been a legend around the area, a real stand-up guy. Probably one of the most humblest guy I ever met that accomplished many things that he has. I want to bring to the show my guy, Jamal Reynolds. What's up, buddy?
Chillin', man. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Absolutely.
How your day been going?
Been going pretty good, man. Just busy with the kiddos.
For sure. Kiddos.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
3 of them.
You got 3 of them? Oh, yeah. Lord. Boys, girls?
2 boys and a girl, man.
Yeah. Okay. So how the father life going so far?
Hey, it's busy, but it's a blessing.
For sure.
I wouldn't trade it for the world, man.
For sure, man. And that's important, man. I love that you a man that's involved because, a lot of us black guys in the community, we get slapped for being fathers. So it's a good thing to know that you in your kid's life and, doing everything that's very important.
Absolutely, man.
So let's get into the show, man. Let's talk about where you grew up at and some of your beginnings and talk a little bit about the neighborhood that you grew up in.
I wouldn't say it was much of a neighborhood. I grew up in the country. So growing up on Aiken Club Road and just being out in the wilderness and being able to enjoy the country life. And, it's kind of was a blessing, and having bigger brothers that I looked up to, and they both played sports, and older brother went to Wake Forest. My other brother went to Rice University. Wow. And father played at South Carolina State. So obviously I had no choice but to follow the steps of football.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it was a great experience growing up and having great people to look up to. For
sure. So let's talk about that a little bit, man. Coming up in that household, like how was it growing up with big brothers that, that was involved in sports? Like what age did you get involved in sports?
I would say probably 8 years old when I started playing football.
Okay.
But like I said, we always did it in the yard and just competing as brothers. And I see it now in my 2 kids, having them 15 months apart, and they always competing and trying to tackle each other. So it's kind of the same thing I did with having big brothers and them beating me up and making me tough. For sure. Okay, so let's talk about your parents a little bit. What type of parents you had? Great parents, man. Mother, she was an athlete as well. She did track and played basketball in high school.
Wow.
And like I say, father played defensive end at South Carolina State. But they met at South Carolina State. So just having parents that went to college, it made me want to do it as well. And so all of my siblings, including my sister, which was an athlete as well, she got a track scholarship to USC in Columbia. Just having so much to look up to and footsteps to follow in, it was a blessing. So it, was no choice for me.
Exactly.
At all. I had to do the same thing.
And it sounds like y'all got good genetics, man. Because everybody plays
so.
For real, man. So shout out to Pops and, big bro and sister for being a leading example for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So let's speed up a little bit. What age did you first started playing sports as far as like realizing this is something you could do long term?
Honestly, once I stepped foot on the field, as a 8-year-old, just getting out there, my dad always had us prepared, man. Like even before we started playing sports, we were doing push-ups and sit-ups and getting strong and just working out around the house. And even if we didn't play, my dad wanted us to be in shape. So, and kind of the same thing I'm doing with mine. They do their push-ups and sit-ups and just, hey, if you're not going to play, you still need to live a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly.
That's important,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And most legendary players that I seen make the Hall of Fame and stuff like that, they started at a very young age, like you said, between 8 to 11 years old and stuff like that. So, all right, speaking up. So let's talk about your career in high school, man, because you're a very legendary player from here. What high school is your team?
I went to Aiken High School.
Okay, so let's talk about your career a little bit. What is some of the most memorable like games that you played at Aiken High, and some of like the most memorable teammates and stuff like that?
Memorable teammates, memorable games. Let's see. I think a game that a lot of people remember is, I think it was a region championship and us playing against Woodrow Dantzler, who went on to Clemson and played in the NFL with the Cowboys.
Yep.
Anyway, it was a game where they came to town. They were undefeated and we were undefeated. And so our goal as a defense was to shut anybody out that came into town to visit us. So, we were doing that, in the process of doing that, and Woodrow broke a long run.
Wow.
And you could say probably every scout from every college was at that game.
Okay, yeah. Because anybody that know Woodrow Dantzler, he was a star at Clemson.
Yep.
And y'all had many great battles at Clemson.
At Clemson as well.
You know what I'm saying? So that's good that that y'all started off early in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all win that game?
We won that game. Wow. And back to the story, he broke a long run, and I ran past a few people just to make sure he didn't score that touchdown.
Wow.
And ran him down and tackled him. And I think we ended up winning that game 21-0, man. And
wow.
It was a big game, and it was a big goal of ours to shut them out, and we did that. But, you know, shout out to all my other teammates, you know, Neely Page, Antonio and Anton Anderson. We had some legendary guys back then, man. Sure. Mike Abrams. A lot of great guys.
And everybody you name, I done heard of these players and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, shout out to the Aiken High teammates and stuff that y'all played. Did y'all win the championship any year?
In high school, no, man. We lost my senior year, the game before the state championship. And, man, it's one of those games you wish you could have had back.
Facts.
Like many of the ones I had in college, I wish I could have had back. But, sure. You know, you can't dwell on the past, man. And it's just something you always remember.
Exactly.
So that's why you want to make sure you achieve all the things you want to achieve. And, you know, you
I'm pretty sure you learned from it too.
Oh yeah, I did.
For sure,
I did.
For sure. And I seen what did your big brother somebody win a championship in school somewhere?
Yeah, my oldest brother. Okay. I'm sorry, my second brother, Rashad. They won the '92 championship at Aiken High.
Was that with Brian Staley?
No, Brian was after me.
Yeah, after you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so shout out Brian Staley too. I had him on Straight Facts podcast. They just to name a few legendary players that came through Aiken High as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's talk about your senior year, when it came down to making a college choice. What was your final schools like? Was it a school before, you know, as we know, we were at Florida State. Was it a school before Florida State that you was committed to or was looking at?
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of people don't know this about me, but my junior year in high school, I was committed to Alabama.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I tell people all the time, I'm like, man, you know, a big part of me wanted to go to Tuscaloosa. I loved Gene Stallings, and, you know, he promised he was going to be there the 4 years that I was in college. And what happened is my senior year, he ended up retiring. I think he had an autistic son or whatever that he wanted to take care of, and he retired. And so, of course, my thing was, who is the next legendary coach in the South that I wanted to play for? And of course, Bobby Bowden, man. And, you know, I kind of had a special place in my heart for Tallahassee anyway, because as a kid growing up, my older brother that played at Wake Forest, they went down to play Florida State back when they had Warwick Dunn and Peter Bullway and all them guys. And so, and just hearing that war chant, man, and seeing that chalk, and yeah, that was where I knew I was going to go if it didn't work out at Bama. And of course, everything worked out for, you know, a purpose, and God has a plan, like you say. And man, you know, the whole 4 years I was at Florida State, I think Bama was on probation the whole time. Wow. So I was thankful, man.
See what I'm saying? Hey, so it's good. That's why you feel me. And see, that's why I like stories like this, so people can see how everything came together. Because like I was talking to Dakota Watson, shout out to Dakota Watson. He said his first school of choice was Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But certain things ended up happening, and he ended up choosing Florida State, you know what I'm saying, when they came to see him at the North-South game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to see certain stories and stuff, how everything came together. All right, so let's talk about, man, what's your first memory and fondest memory of playing in Doak Campbell Stadium?
Doak Campbell Stadium. Man, I can't pinpoint one particular moment, man, because it was so many.
Legendary games.
Not just games on the field, man, but games at practice, because we practiced so hard, it was just like the game. And I think that's why we were so prepared when we got in the games that, you know, we had already done it at practice. So it was just natural for it to happen on Saturday night. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But I say a real big moment was my freshman year being able to get in and play against University of Miami. And that was a blowout game. We blew them out.
Okay.
I was the guy that knocked the quarterback into the goalpost.
Wow.
Yeah, so when you watch that documentary on the youth, they always show me knocking the quarterback into the goalpost. So yeah, that was a big moment, man, to be able to do that as a freshman.
Exactly. And everybody know how big Miami-Florida State matchups
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about some of them matchups, man. What would you say your best game was against Miami? What year?
Best game against Miami.
That's a great rivalry, man. We're probably one of the top 3 rivalries in college football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I would have to say my junior year. I mean, we went undefeated that year. So the year we won the national championship. But you know, I can't pinpoint a play or anything making against them. But just the fact that we went wire to wire #1 that year, that was a big deal.
Okay, let's segue into that too, man. Let's talk about that national championship year. How big was it for you, and what did it mean for you, man, at that time? Being young, you probably was, 20, 21 at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what did it mean for you for y'all at Florida State and Tallahassee to win a championship for Bobby Bowden?
I mean, that was always the goal every year going in. Everybody knew to win a national championship, and if you didn't do it, we fell short. So, so to finally do it and start the season #1 and finish the season #1, and put a pretty good whooping on Virginia Tech.
Exactly.
And beat Michael Vick.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me to be able to, sack him 3 times in that game and
wow,
have a real big game that everybody was looking at. That was a big time game for me. But like I say, the preparation put us in that position to be able to do that.
For sure, for sure. And everybody know y'all won the national championship that year against one of the most talented quarterbacks to come through college and the NFL. So I wasn't playing against Michael Vick, man. You had 3 sacks that game.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing against that.
Trust me, he was a beast, man. And I ain't gonna lie, he tore 2 of our players' ACLs. And,
for real?
Hey, a lot of other people had ankle sprains. So, yeah, it was a challenge tackling that dude, man. But, yeah.
It was one of probably the best championship games I've seen, though. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Because they started off with the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when Peter Ward, I don't know if it was on a punt return or something that set the momentum for y'all, and everything just changed.
Yeah, I think Pete had like 3 touchdowns that game. Yeah,
man.
So.
And that's my favorite player in Florida State history. And anybody knows my second favorite player is Jamal Reynolds, man. So
appreciate it, man.
Shout out to you and Peter Ward, man. And shout out to all the guys on that national championship team. Absolutely. And y'all almost came close that next year, right?
Oh yeah, man. We should have won it that year. I mean, we had a lot of things that didn't fall the way we wanted them to fall, but to get to that championship and lose 13-2.
Man.
I mean, everybody know that wasn't our best showing. Exactly. Being that we had the #1 scoring offense in the nation that year.
Didn't the quarterback get hurt before that game, or somebody?
No, the quarterback got hurt my sophomore year when we were playing Tennessee. Yeah, so we were out Winky that game.
Marcus Outzen,
and we still only lost by a touchdown.
Exactly. Dang, so you really supposed to won 3
in a row.
Wow.
But look, I rewind back even to my freshman year. I'm telling you, we could have won 4. Look, we were undefeated my whole freshman year, all the way up to the last game. So the last game when we played Florida in the Swamp, they beat us by like 4 points.
Wow.
We lost with like a minute and something left. If we would have been undefeated and we would have went to the championship.
Was that the year Florida won it?
Year before Florida won it. That's
okay.
Who won that year? Was it Michigan?
Michigan. Yeah. Wow.
But then
I would have beat Michigan that year.
Yeah. I would have beat Michigan that year. No doubt.
For sure, man. So this legendary stuff, man. So how was it though playing for Bobby Bowden on and off the field though? Like as a man.
On and off the field, I mean, of course he wanted the best out of you on the field, but off the field, he wanted you to have a great relationship with God. And that was important, man. He would always take us to church and stuff as a team. And, that kind of instilled like just a godly, vibe about you. You just wanted to, do the right things.
Exactly.
And I think that's very important when you go to a school. So, a person don't want to only see you succeed on, the field,
exactly.
But as a man off the field as well, and that's big. And that was a big reason that I chose to go to Florida State.
Exactly. So. And that sounds good because I can imagine whenever we came into your house or whatever to talk to you, to recruit you, Mom Dukes and Pops was listening to him. And it sounded like Bobby Bowden was a great guy to play for.
Oh, yeah.
On and off the field. So R.I.P. Bobby Bowden, man.
Yeah.
A legendary coach.
Absolutely.
For sure. All right. So I want to ask you, man, like, so heading into the end of your senior year, right? So let's talk about the process of being drafted because you went 10th overall to the GreenBay Packers. No, because it was a trade or something happened, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
My Hasselback, he got traded and went to Seattle, and that's when Green Bay traded up to the 10th pick to choose me.
Wow.
Yeah, it was it was a blessing.
I'm about to say, talk about that moment.
I tell people all the time, always set your goals high. If you fall a little short, you still reach high goals.
Exactly.
But, my goal was to always be the #1 pick in the draft. So
you deserved it too, because listen, man. Anybody that knows to the youngsters out here, Jamal Reynolds was one of the best defensive ends in his time, and to this day, you know what I'm saying? Like your senior year, you had 12 sacks, 58 tackles. That was great for what y'all only played 10 games at that time.
11, yeah.
Probably 10, 11 games. So that was great stats. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Reynolds, y'all had a lot of great talent on the teams.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to stand out and put up good numbers is a great thing. So man, I love the great career that you had at Florida State. So let's go back to the NFL a little bit. So talk about that first day when you went to Green Bay and how it was like as a youngster going into that and living your NFL dream.
Well, it was always a goal of mine. So, like I said, I fell a little short in reaching to where I wanted to go, but I was still blessed and thankful, and I thank God for putting me in the situation that I was put in. But like I say, it was great, and getting that phone call and watching everything process across the screen. It's totally different back then than how you see it now. They got a camera in everybody's house now.
Facts.
And so they didn't have all that back then. But like I say, it was a blessing to be able to share that moment with my family, and to finally end that college chapter and know where I was going to be at the next years of my life. So it's almost like turning the page in a book and just going to the next scene. But it was tough leaving my college teammates behind, and a lot of us still in touch now. And we always talk about how great college was, and like it's the time of your life, and everybody's working together to reach a certain goal. And it's just a little different once you get into the program.
I was about to ask you, what's the biggest difference between college football team and the NFL team? Like, what's the biggest difference in playing them both?
I ain't gonna lie. Strength and talent wise, NFL is a whole nother level. Because everybody it's the best in the world.
Exactly.
But as far as friendships and teammates, you're going to develop more of that in college. But, I still talk to a few of my pro teammates. But like I say, most of them got families and kids and everybody doing their own thing. Whereas in college, you're together all the time. And it's just more camaraderie.
Exactly.
So that's what I missed about college more than anything once I got into the pros.
For sure.
And everybody's like, y'all got money and this and that. And that caused a little separation too sometimes. People worry about who's making this and that. And
I can watch it.
Yeah, man. And, that's no big deal. But, in college, like I say, we all were broke.
Exactly. Because y'all didn't have NIL.
We ain't had no NIL, man.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all was losers and everything, but y'all superstars with everybody buying y'all jerseys and everything. So so how you feel about the NIL though?
I think it's a gift and a curse. Because
I agree.
I'm hearing from some coaches that these kids don't, practice as hard or push themselves as hard as they should because you already got a pocket full of money.
Exactly.
Some of them making more than guys making the NFL.
Facts. And they making more than the coach.
Oh yeah.
So it's hard for them to listen to them, and I noticed that they leave a lot as soon as they don't, get a certain position, start position. They're not sitting and sticking it out no more.
Yeah. The fact that you can say, hey, I need this kind of money or I'm going this, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And then the whole thing with the being able to transfer too. I appreciate the transfer portal and it works out for a lot of people, but for me to be able to go to 5 different schools,
that's crazy.
I think it need to be some kind of limit on it. But
it definitely should.
Yeah.
It definitely should. So all right, so man, and I didn't hear you not one time. I go back to the humility that I told you about. I didn't hear you one time complain about your injuries that really stalled your career.
Yeah.
That would really stalled your NFL career.
Yeah.
But you didn't make that as an excuse not one time since we've been talking about it. What would you say you get that humility from, though?
I would say my parents and just trying to be a godly man, which Coach Bowden kind of instilled in us. I never got too big-headed and just tried to stay humble all the time.
Exactly.
And, just being from a country town like Aiken, it
definitely humbles you.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it even starts all the way back to my high school coaches as well, Coach Johnson and Coach Pope, all those guys. Like I say, they worked us so hard and pushed us so hard that when I got to college, that wasn't even at all.
Yeah, wow.
So, we got pushed at it.
I always heard about Coach Johnson, though. Ooh. Military background? Something like that.
I don't think he was, but he was just, he was the guy.
But he got y'all to that next level.
Got us to that next level, man. Sure, like I say, on and off the field, just, made us a better men all around.
Facts. That's what's up, man. So I just got a few more questions for you, man. I know you got a very busy day. What advice would you give young adults, young athletes that's trying to pursue a college career?
Trying to pursue a college career, I would say stay focused, block out all the distractions, because these kids nowadays got so many distractions, man. Just way more to worry about than what we had back in the day. But it takes sacrifice, and a lot of the things having fun and doing all this stuff with your friends, you have to put to the side and, do stuff that's going to get you to that next level. If you ain't doing something every day to better you and get you towards a goal, you ain't making the right
Exactly, because somebody out there doing it.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Set high goals and, do whatever it takes to get those goals. Like I say, sacrifice, keep God first in everything you do.
Exactly, man. All right, so I want to ask you, what was your biggest adjustment after your football career?
After my football career?
Biggest life adjustment?
Just coming to grips with the fact that I can't play a sport that I love so much and for so long, and not being able to do it again.
Exactly.
It was tough. I ain't gonna lie. And I understand what people talk about mental health and stuff like that. You got to have some kind of outlet. And I tell people all the time, my outlet was the outdoors and being able to go fishing and going out hunting and, doing stuff out on my boat and everything, and having an outlet and just being able to transfer into your next phase of life after football.
Exactly. All right, so I like that too, man. This is my last question. Let's talk about fatherhood a little bit.
Okay.
How important is fatherhood to you, as far as like raising your kids? Because you talked about earlier, you got 3 kids, small kids. So let's talk about the importance of fatherhood.
Importance of fatherhood. Hey, man, it's big. The footprint you leave is the footsteps your kid will follow. So, you got to make sure you're taking the right steps. And I'm trying to instill God in them and sit down and pray with them every night and try to teach them to set goals and just try to speak positive stuff. I preach to them academics over athletics all the time. And like, yeah, you love playing football and love doing this and doing that, but focus on these books first. That's what I always tell them. And, health is so important too. I preach to my kids to eat right and leave the junk food alone. And I mean, you see all these people. I mean, there's so many people leaving this earth right now, man.
Early.
Health is the main thing that keeps us here. So take care of your body, take care of your mind, get your spirit right, and just, do the right thing.
Exactly.
And
man.